Hello everybody, Tommyruin here, and one of the most common things I've been getting asked recently is, yo Tommy, is this any good for starter abilities? And every time I give the same answers. So what I'm going to do is run down some sets of abilities which I think are very good wildcard starts for tanks, melee DPS, ranged DPS, caster DPS and healers in 5 separate videos. For each starter build, I will explain what we are aiming towards, the main legendary random enchant to pick up, and so on. In this video, I'm going to go over 4 tank builds that I think are worth aiming towards if you are going to spend time re-rolling. Now this video is going to be different to my other videos because there are only 2 starts that really work for tanks on wildcard from level 1. There are multiple abilities that you pick up further down the line that will point you in one direction or another, but from level 1 there are some core setups that will make you viable that are needed if you want to tank. I'll go over those first and then talk about supplementary abilities that will benefit these starts. Now remember that these are in no particular order and are not ranked on how effective they are. At number 4 we have defensive stance tanks. This start will use defensive stance, thunderclap, taunt and shield block. With defensive stance we get 10% damage reduction and a threat increase, which are vital because as a tank we will be taking lots of hits, and to do that we need the threat of enemy mobs. Thunderclap requires a stance to use and is used in this build to generate AoE threat from packs of mobs. This is enhanced by the Raging Thunder random enchant, which increases the threat gained by Thunderclap by a percentage depending on the rarity. We also want Taunt here because that allows for single target threat generation to be maintained and is vital on bosses that have threat drop mechanics. For this setup we can use the Crackling Thunder legendary random enchant, which gives our Thunderclap a consecration like effect where an AoE patch is left on the ground. This core setup will allow you to go down one of 2 routes. With shield block as your 4th choice, you can go down the shield tanking route. Going down this route opens up a few level 60 talent choices. Now firstly, I'd pick up Holy Shield in the Protection Paladin tree. This gives you an increased chance to block and also does damage to attackers when you block. You could also look at Avenger's Shield for the silence that it can offer while talented, and this is very useful in dungeons on packs with lots of spellcasters as well as in PvP. You could look at Vigilance, which will allow for better threat management on high threat generating DPS, or you could choose Devastate for the Sunder armor effect it gives. If you are lucky to get Shield Slam whilst leveling, Devastate is a really nice choice for the Sword and Board talent. However, this is obviously not guaranteed. In my opinion, the 3 ability essence abilities are less beneficial than the 2 ability essence ones, but Shockwave is very nice for the AoE stun it offers on a short cooldown. Now at number 3 we have the same setup but without shield block. Here you could go down the 2-handed tanking route, with an ability like Sinister Strike or Evasion being a nice extra pickup for level 1. Using the same core 3 abilities for defensive stance, taunt and thunderclap, we will be instead focusing on dodge and parry rather than block. The talents Iron Will and Tactical Mastery both offer tanking bonuses when a 2-handed weapon is equipped. For a level 60 talent choice, I'd look towards Ghostly Strike and Riposte. The Combat Rogue talent Deflection adds some really nice tanking synergy to these abilities and enhances the dodge and parry setup for this build. If you pick up either of those whilst leveling, choosing Vigilance, Devastate or Shockwave are nice extra pickups for this build. For this setup we will also be using the Crackling Thunder legendary random enchant. You could also get the Blade Master legendary random enchant, which gives some synergy when you parry, giving you armor, and also buffs Devastate and Riposte. Victory Rush could be taken as a 4th ability here, with the Arms Warrior talent Deflection giving you a chance to use it when you parry and increasing the threat it generates. So that's a nice heal and a threat increase. At number 2, another defensive stance and thunderclap build, but this time using Drain Soul and Voidwalker. Voidwalker is a great pickup as it provides a 10% damage reduction when talented into Master Demonologist. Voidwalkers can also be used to pull mobs at range, and they offer a sacrifice shield as a defensive cooldown. You can also pick up Soul Link at level 60 for 2 ability essence in the Demonology Warlock tree for the ability to share some incoming damage with your Voidwalker. As you have chosen Soul Link as a 2 AE ability, with 2 TE left you can choose one of the choices mentioned before, and it is worth mentioning Concussion Blow, which could act as a pseudo taunt for this build as you haven't got one from level 1. And last but not least, at number 1, let's look at Bear Form. Bear Form is the obvious ability you want to have and allows you to roll other bear abilities at level 1. With Bear Form we want Swipe and Growl for similar reasons to the builds mentioned before. Swipe allows for AoE threat generation and Growl is a single target taunt. As a 4th ability, you could pick up Drain Soul for the hope of getting a Voidwalker down the line, or you could get something like Maul as a single target damage ability. Thorns isn't a bad pickup here as it does damage to attackers generating threat. Imp also isn't a bad pickup due to the health buff and fire shield, but no longer allows for the Soul Link synergy. As for level 60 choices for the bear, there are a few pickups in the Feral tree that are quite nice. Survival Instincts increases HP by 30% for 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. Leader of the Pack provides nice group bonuses as it gives melees 5% crit and a heal on crit if talented. You could also choose Mangle, which is a single target ability that causes nice damage. Vigilance can also be taken here for the threat management utility, combining that with Growl, and if you do somehow pick up Voidwalker whilst leveling, you can take Soul Link for the damage sharing. Now it's worth mentioning here that Savage Defense is a really nice pickup whilst leveling as a bear, so if you get this ability it offers nice damage reduction when you crit, so you'll want to put points into crit. So look out for that one if you are leveling. The legendary random enchant I choose for a bear build is Harbinger of Flame, as it adds some nice AoE damage and it also does some high damage on a single target. Some general abilities that you can get at level 1 which are quite nice are Righteous Fury for the extra threat generation that you can get from it and the damage reduction when talented, Devotion Aura for the extra armor for you and your party, Stone Skin Totem for the armor that it offers, Demon Skin for the armor and health gain increase, and Frost Armor for the armor and slow it offers. Earthbind Totem can come in handy as a method for kiting groups of mobs if needed. Now that is everything that I can think of for tanks then guys. A big thank you to those who helped me sort this video out. My tanking experience on Ascension is limited, so big thanks to those who offered tips whilst I was writing this video. Thanks very much for watching as well guys. Make sure to give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. There is also a Discord channel linked in the description, so make sure to check that one out too. And with that, thanks again, and I'll see you all very soon. Is it you? Is it me?